And welcome back to a special New Year's edition of Jeff Koinange Live right here at Citizen Television. Now, JKLIVE back in 2019 had some high-level interviews with presidents, high-level officials, captains of industry. Let's take a look at some of those moments that touched us in 2019. The greatest lesson you learned on the field that now you're applying in government. What is it? What was that?
Well, I learned three things on the field: teamwork, hard work, respect. Because when you have respect for yourself, you have respect for your colleagues, they in turn help you to succeed. And of course, I was working hard every day. I wanted to be the best runner. I want to be the fastest man. And if I get 2 hours training, I ask the coach if I can do extra. So it was very difficult. But at the end of the day, if you want to succeed, you got to push forward.
MJ, look, you're the board chair of KQ. For a company that keeps declaring losses every quarter, we're talking billions in losses. And then we're always being compared with Ethiopia, which is 100% government owned. Is it frustrating? There's some parts of it doing really well, of KQ, other parts terrible. Is that frustrating?
It's very frustrating, particularly as you know, when I came on board, when Sebastian came on board, we inherited many of these issues. The legacy of the aircraft, the interest rate that we had, the 777s that we bought and then leased out to Turkish. All of these are legacy issues that we have to face with, which are not easy to get rid of, and not easy to resolve the problems, not easy to take, to reduce the debt, to find better ways to become more profitable. From an operating point of view, I think we're doing quite well. But at the bottom line, we will not do very well. We will continue to struggle until the government and the ministry and everybody takes actions to understand that for us to compete on a level playing field with our competitors, we need to have the same structure that they have, the same financial benefits they have. Otherwise, they continue to eat our lunch.
Sebastian, before the break, you said, you know where you can get the $450 million that Michael needs?
You get them by putting all the assets together, not competing, but by working together. This money are here. This money comes to Kenya. If you follow the dollar, what happens is that when a plane lands, a foreign plane, money goes to KAA. It's refueled by an external refuel, and it's handled by one of our competitors. We don't see any money coming. So you have a passenger who came, but the money went completely somewhere else. Actually, if you put all these assets together, which all the countries around us, you have all this money in one pot. It doesn't mean, again, because I know the questions that will be asked, that I want to jump on the bank account of Jomo Kenyatta and swoop the money that is there and put it in KQ. But I want to have a system, and this is what we recommend, where each passenger that lands reinforces Kenyan aviation system, not only KQ, and we're an essential part. But I cannot do without Jomo Kenyatta, they cannot do without me. We are the only carrier interested in growing the hub, the only one. Everybody is interested just picking the passenger and sending it to its own hub. So, of course, if Michael fixes $450 million of cash, then I'll beg to stay.
Thanks for dragging you out here on Professor Wangari's bench.
That makes it a little warmer, yes.
Okay. All right, Dr. Look, were you surprised, were you shocked that after being endorsed by the African Union, overwhelmingly, I think it was, 37 votes to 13, something like that, Djibouti would turn around and say, hey, we're going to go for this?
We were a bit surprised because the reason we went for the vote was really to make a final determination on who would be the African candidate in line with our rules and procedures. We have, as Africa, always determined a candidate that represents the entire of the African continent. And between Djibouti and us, we had agreed that having consulted and failed to come to a consensus for 19 months, it was time to let the union help us with a final determination. So this was an agreement between us, and so we were a little surprised. But having said that, it still behooves a country to make a determination on whether it wishes to serve.
Having said that, you don't seem very worried then?
Well, the 193 members will now have to decide. But we hope that before we get there, that the African position will prevail.
Great sound bites from some great Africans. Now, Jeff Koinange Live also had some touching moments. Guests that kept us glued to our screens. Guests that even made us cry.
Jeff who?
Really? Really? Is that funny?
Jeff.
Oh no. Did you get a close-up of that? Oh, okay, here we go. My next question was,
Yeah.
you've all been talking about your mothers.
Yes. My mom.
None of you are talking about your fathers. Eliane, you first.
Okay.
You
so-
met him for the first time last year.
Yeah.
Why?
Like,
How?
not last year, but 2017.
Okay, go on.
So I met him in 2017.
You'd never met him before?
I've never, until he left us. Yeah.
Go on.
So he left us, and then, because he chose, like, Kenya is not a good place to live in. And then now he's really forbidding what he said. So he's planning to, he's getting us tickets every December for us to visit him. Like, so the first time I was very excited. So yeah, and then went well. I did not like the first impression of my cat. Did not. Scratched me. Don't know what to say. No. So sad.
Wendy?
Yes.
About your dad?
Mine is a very long story.
No, I don't want the long story. Just cut it short.
Okay. So my dad left me when I was 3 years old, and then back then we were living in Madare, and not really like Madare before, and then it was really tough with my mom alone. Back then she didn't have a job. She just left us, but I believe and I thank God that I'm safe right now. At least my mom.
Have you ever seen him since?
Not
No.
really.
You'd never.
And he doesn't even know like which school did I go to.
Yeah.
He don't know. Am I in high school?
Yeah. Oh, are you? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right, baby. It's all right. Wendy, would you want him to get in touch with you if he was watching you now?
Yeah, because he's my dad. I've never had a male figure in my life. So yeah.
You would?
Yes.
Would you want him to see you perform?
Yes, he's my dad. No matter what happened, it happened. That's the past. And I believe now he has changed. And
If he's watching you now, do you forgive him? Do you forgive him for abandoning you?
yes, Dad, I forgive you. I don't know where you are. I don't know if you're watching. But please just come back home. I miss you.
Leila, what about you?
Now, everyone is doing a sad version of this.
Yeah.
Now, let me spice it up.
Okay, spice it up.
So, guys, when our dad left us, don't think of the negative side. Think of the positive side. Like me now, I can bravely say that I am the head of the family now.
You, at 14.
Yeah.
Has your dad ever seen you perform?
No, I don't. Maybe, but I don't.
But you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
For me, I forgive him a long time ago, and I wish him the best of luck where he is. Me, I just want to say that being God sometimes does not bless you by giving you. He takes away too, in order to harden your heart.
Come here, little girls. Group hug.
Yeah.
Would you want him to come and watch you perform?
I'm okay.
You're cool with it?
I'm cool.
Do you have sisters and brothers?
I only have one brother.
Older or younger?
Hi, he's old.
Older.
Yeah.
How about Wendy?
I don't have a sister, I don't have a brother, just me and my mom.
Same. I don't have any brother or sister. That's why I play with my toys. Cookie.
You're gonna make us all cry.
No. Guys, we're just strong.
You're strong, huh?
Yes.
Keeping in the tears.
Amazing moments there. Now, Jeff Koinange Live would not be complete without including one man who impacted this nation more than any other in 2019. A man who wasn't even Kenyan, but who made us feel Kenyan nonetheless. A man who I was proud to call my friend.
Love it. Bob, before we go to break, and I asked you this question earlier on, but in case someone is just joining us right now, a lot of people are asking, how are you feeling? How's your health right now?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, the drugs help. The thing with cancer, everybody says, you know, you're beating cancer. Actually, what you learn to do is you learn to live with it. And I've just decided to make friends with it. So, yeah.
Are you friends?
Me and my doctor, who I don't know whether she's listening or not, is the most fantastic person in the world, apart from my wife. And she's been doing a fantastic job. You know, so we're working through it, and I'm feeling fine. As you know, I mean, I came to see you the other day, and I was going to pick Joshua.
No, let me set this one up. Let me set this one up. He didn't just come to see me the other day. He walked
like a village boy.
You don't believe that. And he picked up Josh on the way, and they walked home.
Absolutely.
No bodyguards, no.
You could only be confused that he was already a village boy walking to do some kind of work.
So anyway, so you arrived.
Yeah. No, but you know, he was surprised. He was surprised to see me walking down the street. So yeah, I mean, I'm not as active in the gym as perhaps I'd like to be, but I'm still under treatment. I mean, and you know, the whole handshaking thing, which causes me embarrassment several times a day because I can't shake hands because infections spread. So apart from that, and apart from staying away from crowds, I'm conducting a
and it's very valuable. I mean, especially for a leader like Bob, because we never talk about this kind of challenges.
No, we don't.
I mean, especially the kind of demystifying it. It looked like it's a very secretive kind of activity.
Yeah.
But with kind of right treatment, and I salute Bob very much for coming out very boldly. And more, we should see ourselves as senior leaders being able to say, this is part of life, and how do you deal with it? What solutions do you get? Many times we stay behind. It looks like it doesn't happen. But it happens every day.
Yeah.
And that kind of boldness, I salute Bob as a CEO in the market.
I mean, please salute my doctor and my wife.
But Bob, are some days better than others? Do you have some bad days?
We have a few of those. I mean, not bad days.
Yeah.
It's just days where your blood counts are perhaps not where they should be.
Okay.
And you feel a little bit tired. But apart from that, you know, I still make a nuisance of myself in the office. So, yeah, it's good.
And you're still around for a while? I mean, on the job.
I'll be here until at least the show is finished. And I'm rather hoping that after this audition, I'm serious about the audition. Yeah.
As long as it's not Wednesday night, it's not Sunday night. Hussein? Well, we'll talk about that.
I'm cheaper.
Now, former Safaricom CEO Bob Collymore was a regular guest on Jeff Koinange Live. This interview was done 3 months before he succumbed to cancer on July 1st, 2019. Now, some of his closest friends, they call themselves the Boys Club, came on Jeff Koinange Live after Bob's death and gave glowing tributes to their friend and colleague.
Did not want to come back in a casket. I think that's what you were saying, right? Absolutely. You know, like new treatment somewhere in America.
He loved Kenya, and the point he made is, okay, what is left is experimental medicine.
Yeah.
Supposing I go for it in the US, it doesn't work, then I'm not able to come back. That's why he chose to be with very close, immediate family members and at home. And if you remember, he gave a plan that were he to get worse, the way the palliative care was to be conducted. You know, he had all that.
He planned it all.
Yeah, it was all planned.
And I still got a chance to coordinate a lot. So it's not just about his, you know, the boys only.
Right.
You got a chance even to coordinate with the staff at the office, his own exco itself, his own partners that he had. He got a chance to engage. So there's a little bit about being directed about the way things are happening, and he was actually making those changes.
And I mean, let's not forget his relationship with Michael Joseph remained solid to the very solid.
No, right
I mean, they loved each other almost.
Absolutely.
That's
amazing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, to take over from a giant like Michael and still be able to, you know, fill his shoes and go on to do other things and still maintain that, you know, strong.
And seek his advice now and then.
Absolutely.
And I think
it's just a sign of a man.
Again, I think that's the same thing. It just shows the kind of a person he was. That
He didn't have that ego.
And Michael, as we saw on Tuesday, was you could see the pain the man was feeling.
He was devastated.
Yeah, you could see the man, but that doesn't come just like that, right? Yeah. You know, it was a strong emotional bond.
I don't know if you guys remember one day, I had met Michael at Paddington, and I think he was lost in thoughts. So I had said hello to Michael, and he had said hello, but he didn't remember the face. I came and I told Bob in our boys' club, you remember? No, I met Michael, but he didn't look okay. So he called Michael the day after, saying, we met with Peter at Paddington. Didn't seem to remember Peter. And Michael said, I think I was lost in thoughts. And from that day, let me tell you, whenever I meet Michael, he says, let me say hello before Bob calls me to say.
By the way, Francis Atwoli,
yes,
he says, jointly, we all must write a book about Bob.
Good point.
Now, many of us lost some good friends back in 2019. We want you to take a look at just some of the few who left an impact on all of us. Take a look. Wow, what a year 2019 was. And it all happened right here on JKL Live. The highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, the best of us and the worst of us. He is looking forward to whatever is happening in 2020. Again, Happy New Year and all the very best to you, our viewers, in 2020. We look forward to seeing you every Wednesday night on the three letters that follow each other on the alphabet. JK Live. Good night. Good luck. God bless.